All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So I want to say maybe 25 minutes ago, the New England Patriots went out and they placed a second-round tender on restricted free agent cornerback J.C. Jackson. One of my favorite players in the league, believe it or not. I mean, this guy's an interception machine. That number continues to rise every single season. 2018, he had 3. 2019, he had 5. And then last season, 2020, he's coming off the best season of his career with 9 interceptions, a ton of pass breakups, good in man coverage, really good in zone coverage. 6'1", 200 pounds, really good size. He's been a staple as that boundary cornerback for the Patriots last couple seasons. J.C. Jackson seems like the full package. Again, one of my favorite players in the league. Check so many different boxes here. So the Pats placed that second round tender on Jackson, meaning that another team can negotiate with JC Jackson. They can agree to a contract, but instead of him just proceeding to sign, the Patriots have that opportunity to either match the contract. And remember, the Patriots still have a lot of cap space. They're bringing in a ton of players: Nelson Aguilar, Judon, Jonnu Smith, Hunter Henry. They're bringing in a ton of talent. But they still have space. That's how much power New England has right now as it pertains to free agency. New England has the opportunity to match J.C. Jackson's contract. If they decide not to match it, they get a second round pick in return. So essentially, a team, if they want to go out and negotiate with J.C. Jackson, if they value him, that much, they're going to not only have to sign him to a decent sized deal. I would assume the floor is at least $10-11 million for Jackson, and then you have to give up a second round pick. So I feel like for some teams out there, it would be worth it. And then of course we have the New York Jets with a huge vacancy at the cornerback position. I definitely feel like Jackson, again, just talking about what he's done past couple seasons, what he does in the turnover category, his size, his system fit. I think J.C. Jackson will be a beautiful fit. But I think the price is a little too high. And it pains me to say that because he is one of my favorite players, but 34. If the Jets were picking in the late 50s and the middle 50s, I would do it. Honestly, I would do it. I think J.C. Jackson's that good. But for 34, that's a little high. That's a little high for me. Now, if the Jets say they go out and they do this and they, reach an agreement with Jackson and we end up doing this thing, I'm not going to be pissed off or I'm not going to be angry or upset because we are getting a premier corner in this league. Now, he's not a top 3 or top 5 corner, but the numbers tell you he's up there. He's near the top of the list. So if the Jets were to go out and do this, I would be pretty excited. But I feel like if I was running the team, 34 is just a little bit too high for me. Now, I will say this. Here's where it gets interesting. If the Jets trade Sam Darnold, there's been rumors, Adam Schefter, according to him, the Jets can possibly get a first-round pick in return for him, and the Jets have multiple offers, and, they're talking to a bunch of teams. If Darnold's market's as high as what all of these NFL insiders are suggesting, then the Jets could very well land a second-round pick in return for Darnold. So if the team wants to move off of Sam and they feel comfortable with Justin Fields, Zach Wilson, Deshaun Watson, whoever it may be, they want to move off of Darnold, we can very well find ourselves in a situation where we have 2 second-round picks. Now all of a sudden, Joe Douglas can pivot, reach an agreement with J.C. Jackson, bring him in, and have that extra second-round pick to deal to New England. And then the Jets are pretty much getting the best of both worlds here, where we're not really impacting the trade market or the draft capital at all. We're acquiring a really good cornerback on the outside, and we still have we're still set on our quarterback plans moving forward. That's not going to be altered. So just a crazy situation there. I know it's probably not going to happen here or anything like that, but it's an option, right? I'm just kind of throwing it out there, seeing what you guys have to say. Would you like J.C. Jackson because of his size, his system fit, his production, and his age as well? There's so much to like there. But again, 34 is a little high. So I don't know. It's a really tough call. It's a tough call because then, of course, you have to go out and sign him to a decent-sized deal as well. But I will say this. A couple of the cornerbacks still on the market, guys like Richard Sherman, fit the system. We can use him. K'Wan Williams is still out there. Brian Poole is still out there. We saw William Jackson sign late last night with Washington, a 3-year contract. So there's definitely still some options with the cornerback bar. Oh, Adoree Jackson got released from Tennessee. We have options. That's the beauty in it. But J.C. Jackson, I would say right now, is better than all of those guys. But it comes down to that second round pick. Would you give it up? It's funny enough, I was actually at the gym when this news broke, and first thing I did, I texted two of my buddies, two Jets fans, and they mostly disagree right on everything. And I'm like, hey man, would you trade a second round, or negotiate with JC Jackson and give up a second round pick? Would you do that? One Jet fan said 1,000%. Look at his numbers, look at his production, look at his size, and how he would fit in the Robert Saleh defense. A second round pick is unproven. We don't know who's going to be on the board. We don't know who's going to be falling. With this being the virus season, the draft is kind of more of a crapshoot than it's ever been. The combine is weird. Definitely trade an unproven pick for a proven NFL starting cornerback that looks like he's going to continue to rise. And then of course my other buddy's like, no, not at all. We need to build this team from the ground up. Get young players in the building, get young talent in the building, and sign this and have a nice rookie contract or a contributing rookie on a cheap deal. So funny, both ends of the spectrum here. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Would you like JC Jackson, or is the compensation too high? So thanks so much for watching, and as always, go Jets.